board a train from a certain location heading towards a destination. Midway through the journey, the train takes a detour, traveling completely off the railway towards an entirely different destination. But at this point, you're very comfortable with the journey, so you do not protest the detour, and you decide to stay on the derailing train. The judges, co-debaters, audience, I am TITILOPE IBRAHIM, the lead speaker for Team A, here to argue for the motion. Feminism has done more harm than good. My stand in this argument is fortified with two cogent points. The first is gender inequality, and the second is feminism, the fountain of moral diabetes. To start with, on gender inequality, feminism advocates a system where the number of women in every organization equates that of the men, not considering whether or not these women fit into these roles and can perform the duties effectively. For example, in countries like Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, and even some Chinese provinces, women are given specific time off work during their monthly periods. During their monthly periods, you say. Come on, audience. Let's paint a scenario where a company with 25 departments has 8 to 10 of these departments being headed by women. If these women have their monthly periods concurrently at the same time, this means that the company will be partially shut down for that period of time. Make me understand how feminists say they fight for equal rights, yet they want women to be treated differently. I dare say that if this went the other way around, feminists will say that men do not deserve the special privileges and should man up. Furthermore, on feminism, the fountain of moral diabetes, according to the American experience from the collection of women in American history, the sexual revolution of 1960s ushered in free love, gay liberation, and the golden age of pornography. Guess what? This sexual revolution was championed by two iconic feminists, Pat McGuinness, who currently, and even back then in 1966, connected women to illegal abortionists, and Betty Dodson, who is currently a lecturer in masturbation in New York as we speak. Feminists need to be calming down. According to lifenews.com, after the sexual revolution, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled in favor of abortion in the case of Roe and Wade in 1973. Since then, 62 million babies have been aborted in the United States alone. This is the population of California and New York combined, and 10 times the number of persons that were killed by Adolf Hitler. I think at this point, the argument for feminism holds no water. Finally, according to Manajab, a Toastmaster and Youth Visions writer in Dubai, feminism is that train that you opt on when it's promised you equality and opportunity. But now that you're on the train, you subconsciously follow it wherever it takes you. It's a simple psychology that because it was right the last time, it will be right this time too. Wake up, audience! This train is headed for an abyss. It's high time we got off. Thank you.
No country can ever truly flourish if it stifles the potentials of women and deprives half of its citizens the privilege to contribute. These were the words of an American attorney and author who served as the First Lady of the United States from 2009 to 2017, Michelle Obama. Good day, my honorable judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am ABATI TOYOSI, and I stand here to oppose the motion, feminism has done more harm than good. I am the lead speaker of Team B. Feminism made it possible for women to be in leadership opportunities, in leadership positions. It gave women the ability to unravel their potentials and bring out the hidden things that they have in them. My mom once told me a story of when she was younger and was working with a consultation firm. She said her boss once called them and told them that they should have a meeting, and he gave them a task. He promised that whoever performed the task efficiently was going to be promoted. For over 2 weeks, my mom had sleepless nights. She was working, making researches, and doing a lot of things to ensure that she put in her best to deliver excellently. And yes, her boss affirmed that she did. But on the day for the promotion, the boss called a Mr. Sam, who began the task but didn't finish it. And he promoted him to the position of a research manager. And my mom, who did the task excellently, was to be his assistant. She was curious, and then she asked her boss why he made such a decision. And he looked into her eyes and said, you are a woman and you can't handle leadership position. And this is where I thank God for feminism. If not for the feminist agenda, it will be impossible for women to have opportunities and they will be treated just like my mom. If not for feminism, all the female orators sitting here today wouldn't have had the privilege to be here. Why? Because the registration will be tagged men only. If not for feminism, my opponent wouldn't have had the privilege to stand here today and say feminism has done more harm than good. Let me remind you of the contribution of some of our feminists. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti was a great woman. She stood for women activism. She made sure that women understood that their gender doesn't make them less human. Being a woman doesn't make you less human, and being a man doesn't mean you are a super being. She fought, and she was able to get the attention of a lot of people that reasoned with her that yes, women deserve to have equal rights as men. And that is why we see now in leadership position that women are thriving and they are doing well. Example, we have Miss Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She is currently serving as the Director General of the World Trade Organization. We have Zainab Ahmed. She's currently serving as the Federal Minister of Finance, Budget, and Planning for Nigeria. Even in the recent day, on the 13th of July 2021, Yemisi Edun was appointed as the Managing Director of First City Monument Bank. I stand here today and I tell you that as feminists, our mission is to work to make sure that the generation after us lives a better life, because without the efforts of the generation before us, we won't be here. Feminism is about the forward movement of humanism. If we all can be feminists, I promise this world will be a better place. Thank you.